Before we start this video, I just wanted to say I'm going to be starting a brand new series where you guys and girls can send in your clips of Neverwinter and a top 5 plays of the week. It could be funny, fails, PvP kills, speed runs, literally anything, solo runs, anything like that that will make me wow, alright? So it's going to be a top 5 of the week, and every 4 weeks there is going to be a top 5 of the month. So I'm going to pick 5 of the best out of those ones, and there might even be some lucky little prizes for you guys who are in that, and possibly, depending on how it goes, it may be you all 5. Basically, you want to leave your gamer tag, PSN or Steam name so that you get a big shout out for you, whoever you are, and good luck to everyone. Thank you all so much. I hope to get some good reactions on the series, and I hope you guys like it. Now I'm going to explain the clip that I'm playing right now. So this is a MSP run I did with a group of 5. And my paladin is the Healadin, obviously like the video says, and he actually has none of the end game feats on the Paragon paths done at all. So he hasn't got the Bulwark feats done, he hasn't got any of the Judge ones, and he certainly does not have any of the Redemption or the Light Path one done anyway. So also with that, he doesn't have the final 5 points that you can have in the heroics, so he doesn't have the extra points you get out of wisdom, charisma or constitution in there as well. So I just thought I'd be letting you know that it's very, very crucial to this build. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy the video, and good luck with your top 5 plays. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elzy and welcome back. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over with you guys the Healadin build, and in my opinion, build that there is out there at the minute. And we're going to be talking about all the different things. I'm going to try and not be too long in it, but it may be a long one. I go in depth in some stuff. If not, look in the description for the timestamps for anything that you're very, very interested. And let's get straight into the video. So, of course, we are the Healadin. So we're going to have a look at our character sheet just for this very, very minute. And the first thing we're going to look at is actually the general page of the powers, and we're going to have a look at all sorts of little bits in here. So I've gone with the Dragonborn race. Unfortunately, there isn't really a class which is brilliant for it, because you're going to be doing some healing and other bits like that. You probably want to go with anything which is like the Dragonborn, or you could go with another great one to go with, especially with this type of build, is a human. They are quite good, as well as dwarves as well. They're actually okay. They've got a little bit of extra damage resistance, but there isn't a best class for this really as such. And if you do pick another class of those like human, or you don't have a Dragonborn, the advantages of having a Dragonborn isn't massive. They're not huge. There are a few differences, as you'll see. So Draconic Heritage, you receive 5% more healing from all spells and sources. Bonus. Straight off bonus, 5% more healing from all sources. Yeah, you're going to help yourself out a little bit with that. And Dragonborn Fury, I always say this, your power and critical chance are each 3% higher than that of other races. So they start off at a higher, the one that you mostly can see a lot more of is critical chance. You can see that, obviously that's an extra 3%, which is great. And then we have the Oath of Devotion. So your healing is increased by 100%. When you heal an ally, you also increase their stats by 5% for 8 seconds. This effect does not stack and only works if you actually restore HP to your target. So this is quite a good one. This is amazing. So it doesn't say that you increase their stats 5%, say, by whatever you healed them. It just says 5% of their stats. So it's a base off increase. It's a very good one. It's very useful to have, and you'll see why this links in quite nicely later on. Then we look at Sanctity, and it says Devotion, part of the healing of this Sanctity is increased by 200%. So it's a very, very good one to have, as a paladin, and you can see why it does help out a lot later on. And there's all sorts of different things coming into play here. You have increased damage resistance, and allies gain 10% increased damage resistance and are rapidly healed. So again, healing, if you need to get in heals and whatever, and this is your last source of healing, still go in it. It will help out people. It is very, very powerful to use as in our build. Now we're looking at the character sheet, and as I am right now, stood still with my companion out, I have 31,000 power, 11,000 defense, 4,500 recovery, 5,000 armor pen, and 6,500 critical strike. Now something we're going to quickly look at as well, which is a big thing for me, I have 50% critical chance. So the critical chance in this game works on the healing as well, so you can crit people healing. So critical chance for our build is very good. So if you can't always get the most out of your healing of power and everything like that, you can then use your critical chance, which will bounce up extra. So the thing we want is not necessarily big heals, but it's not big heals, but it's quite small heals. So as you can see in the video that I'm going to show you at the very, very beginning, which you did see, I do a MSP with a group of 5 of us, and I have none of my feats filled out. I have absolutely none of the feats filled out, and that can show you that you do not need massive amounts of healing. If you think about it, I have 205,000 HP right now. If I heal for 250,000, I've wasted 45,000. It doesn't stack up, it doesn't store somewhere, it's gone. It's wasted. There is no point in you being able to heal people for 500,000. It's a waste. It's a huge, huge waste. And you'll see what we're going to do with the feats later on as well to maximize that. So if you do a lot of healing and you get, say, a 70,000, but you get that crit chance and it goes up again to, say, 90, 100,000, you've still done half of your own healing straight away. That's good. You're not wasting the heals. You're doing lots of little heals, but you're not wasting them. That is the biggest thing in the game. The waste of heals. The only one which has it is the cleric with Gift of Faith. Anyway, let's have a look at the gear. So I've gone with Gaze of the Wolf Clan. So this is a big piece of the build. It's very nice, very, very powerful. So it says when you equip in a party, you have when you're not in a party, sorry, you have 2,000 defense, and when in a party, you have 2,000 power. So no brainer, it works out for everything. Every class, in my opinion, should have this. It's so good, amazing. And then I have the Amour+Enchants Shroud. So this has power, recovery, defense, and armor class. Quite a few hit points in there as well, with the Transcendent Shadowclad enchant in there as well. And then the arms, I have the Warborn Medic Quarters. So these are obviously just a normal Warborn. These aren't brilliant. You can go with Elven. You can go for the Vivified set, which is like the set which you get out of Storm King's Thunder. You can go for whatever you want. As long as it is above 420, you should be fine. Obviously trying to get 135 at best. As you can see down here, I have the Prestige Medic Polions, and these are obviously the PvP feat. They are very nice. The stats on them are quite solid for our build as well. At the minute, I have the Life Forged Mace and the Life Forged Shield. If you would want for this build, you want to go for the Fae. You get the extra healing, extra damage, and extra AP gain. No brainer. Definitely want to go for those ones. The Relic is good, but that's more of a DPS thing, and for the support, obviously with that extra healing, it's going to help out. That extra tiny bit of AP gain, it's always going to help out. So with the sigils, you want to try and go with the Sigil of the Devoted, and the you want to go with, you probably want to try and swap out the Lantern of Revelation for something else along the lines of a more defensive one. You might want to go with the Guardian one or something like that, the Guardian Fighter one. Definitely stick on the Sigil of the Oathbound Paladin, purely for the power and the AoE resist, because the only problem with this build is you are actually doing tons and tons of healing, and you really want to try and minimize the amount of damage you take, because the Paladin, without all of his temp hit points and things like that, like the protection build, he is quite squishy, so he is notable to take some damage himself, and healing yourself up is very easy, but it still does take time, and it's a little bit annoying, can be annoying, so you want to try and stay out of the fire of stuff. And then I have finally the Eye of the Giant. Again, this is really, really nice. Power, crit, armor, pen, defense. You might as well have it. It's a really, really good one. You could possibly swap out the Lantern of Revelation for the Tiamat one. I can't remember it now. The Tiamat set, which you have the Tiamat belt and the neck and the artifact itself, and you get the extra healing from it. That's a very, very good one to have. I would probably recommend that because of that extra healing. Very, very nice. Again, just like my other builds, I have the defense one and the power. They are very good. You do miss out on a little bit of defense in this build. Again, this is quite an end game type of build. You'll see as my defense is only 11,000. It's quite low for a paladin, but it's still very, very useful. And the shirt and the pants are the Greater Everfrost resist and the Greater Everfrost pants as well, and they are brilliant. The deflection and the defense, there's all sorts of stats in there as well which help out. We'll have a quick look at those, very, very quick look at that. If your lifesteal is greater than deflection, whenever you perform a lifesteal, you gain double the lifesteal severity for 10 seconds. When your deflection is greater than lifesteal, whenever you perform a deflection, each one over the next 10 seconds returns 50% of the incoming damage back to the attacker. So again, it's a good one. It's a nice one to have. They are 420 again, and they have that extra. You can put that Everfrost resist damage on them as well. Now we're going to go into the powers of the build, so the combat powers. So you go, I always, no matter what paladin I am, I always pick Aura of Courage. It's a great buff to have. It is really, really nice. You and your allies within 30 of you deal 1% of your maximum hit points as bonus radiant damage, and that's just a no-brainer in my opinion. Why not? Extra damage just off of how much health you've got. And then we go with possibly having, we'll have a look later on. So this is sort of my my third encounter. This is my third one. My first off encounter I go with, without a doubt, is Bond of Virtue. So all the allies within 60 become bonded. Allies who are bonded gain 20% increased healing from all sources. Additionally, anytime you heal a bonded ally, all bonded allies receive 15% of that healing. So you share the healing of everyone in there as well, which is brilliant. Again, it's the same thing. You don't have to worry about healing one person because everyone's linked together with this. This is brilliant. You can almost be lazy with your heals and you're still going to get everyone. But it's also great for situations where you're in tight spaces. You need to do a lot of healing, trash mobs, things like that. Getting rid of those lot just really, really helps out amazingly. Aura of Wisdom is our second class feature. Again, no-brainer, increases recharge speed. You can forget about recovery with this build. Straight off the bat, it's amazing. Then for our second encounter power, I've gone with Vow of Enmity. So this is along the lines of the Astral Seal, which the clerics have. So you mark a target, and every time that target is hit, they actually have a big heal. Well, I say big, but they have a heal on them. So no matter what, brilliant in boss fights, brilliant in any situation really, because whatever happens, AoE, single target, clip them with the Vow of Enmity, and it always does brilliantly. Takes out some nice healing from there as well. Unfortunately, you can't mark multiple people with it. The mark drops off someone once you use Vow of Enmity, but again, it's still nice. Once it comes back, you can change target instantly, and everyone's going to get a little bit of healing from that Bond of Virtue. As I say, the third one which I swap in and out of is Smite. So Smite ignites the target for damage, so it's quite a powerful one when running through dungeons, but the main thing, allies near the target are healed as well. So again, it's a brilliant one to have. It's got a very, very quick cooldown on it as well, gives a nice little bit of damage, but also heals people as well. The other ones you could swap it out with is Bane. So this again marks targets and reducing the damage that they deal, and also increasing the damage that they actually take as well. Templar's Wrath is okay. I was using it earlier and it wasn't the best. In all honesty, it wasn't the best. It's supposed to give affected area gain temp hit points in addition to damaging foes, and I did not see a big addition to friendly temp hit points. Tried looking around and I could not see them, and it was a bit of a letdown. But possibly use it next time when I'm at a party. Maybe it wasn't showing up in the group and I couldn't see them while I'm hovering over someone. It was a little bit of a shame. But then we go into the at-wills. We've got Oath Strike. So again, this is a healing one. The final blow of this power increases your outgoing healing by 10%. You also unleash a burst of healing. Again, a little bit of extra heals while you're doing some DPS. Then the secondary at will is Cure Wounds. So this is an amazing one. This is such a rapid healing one. So your guy basically, all he does is he pushes and drops it. That you... tight situation, you think you might die, just stand there and use this Cure Wounds. It really does help out, honestly. It's quite an insane one to have. Really nice. The personal or the daily abilities I have are Shield of Faith. You summon a divine shield to protect your allies. Any damage taken by allies is reduced by 30% and they receive 30% more healing. Again, brilliant. It is amazing. Really does great. I personally, this is my first one, the primary one I use all the time. I do not drop this one. The only other one that I change up is Healing Font. I sometimes use the other dailies, but Healing Font drops a font on the ground for 40 seconds and will attempt to heal any wounded and 60 of it. This heal chains to nearby damaged allies. You can chain up to 5 times. So again, what I usually do is on my first daily use in a fight, I use the Shield of Faith, give them that reduced damage for that time. Then once my next daily comes up, I pop this on the floor, so it's up for 40 seconds. That's enough time to have another shield up, and because that Sigil of the Devoted is going to give you that AP back again. But by the time you get it back in time, the font has dropped. You can use the shield, give them extra decreased damage, all sorts of great stuff like that. Really brilliant, really works out nicely. The Relentless Avenger, people were talking about this. Is it good? Is it not? Is it not? No, it's not. You can now rush allies, pushing away any foes within 30 of you. No, you do not need that. It's just no-brainer in me. No, thank you. The only other one that I was using was Cleansing Touch. So you heal allies, and it's got, again, like Smite, always affects allies in a 15-foot radius around the target, even when targeting an ally. So you can put it on an enemy, and it will do an amazing bit of healing, and has a little boost around it as well. So you have like an AoE heal. Brilliant, no-brainer. Now what we're going to do is go into the feats. We're going to have a look at the feats in here. When you start off, in my personal opinion, you want to get 5 out of 5 in Divine Action, full points into that, so you're generating extra AP from it. Then you want to put into points of Critical Chance, 3 out of 3 in that. And then we want to go with Exemplar's Haste. Your encounter powers recharge 6% faster. Again, you don't need to worry about recovery with this build. Very nice. Then Impassioned Pleas. You generate 6% Divine Call faster. 3 out of 3 for this one. And now this is where I was talking. This is where the video at the beginning about the feats and not needing the feat powers in that comes across. So you can see how much healing I've done, right? So most people would go 3 out of 3 wisdom. No, we do not want that, because else if you increase your healing massively, you're still wasting those. You've almost wasted feat points because you're doing so much healing that it's also wasted. So what we do is we go 3 out of 3 with the Critical Chance, because if the heals are critting, then that is making up for that loss of the extra healing. Then we put in 1 point of this, because we want 1 extra point, because we can get 33% extra on top of each point of wisdom we have. So let's have a look at the character sheet quickly, and we've got 20 wisdom. So with it, you get an extra 6.5% healing. So again, it's not massive. It's not a massive increase, but having 1 point in it gives you quite a large amount of heals from it. Anyway, so as I say, that's where I get my 50% critical chance from. Brilliant for healing, absolutely amazing. And then once you've done that, I personally put the points into maximum hit points, just for extra survivability of yourself. As I said, we are a little bit squishy, we do take a little bit of damage, so it does help yourself out as well. You could put your extra points into this one, or you could actually put your points in there as well, but again, it's probably a little bit wasted because it goes up in increments, which kind of sucks. But as I say, definitely a point in wisdom and more points into the charisma, getting you extra critical chance. Now, what I wanted to do, as I said, because from the beginning, as I've said, no feats, huge heals straight off the bat as the build I had right there, with the feats filled out, just the heroics, not even with the force of will. I think in the feats you can see that I have Divine Wisdom. I don't think I've picked Divine Wisdom or Force of Will yet. I don't think I had. I may have done. You may be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I have. Anyway, the healing that I did was insane. So I did not want to pick the light path, but I picked the most important ones. So in the light path, we went with you heal 10% more. No brainer. Why not? Then we go with light touched. 5 out of 5. Healing spells now generate 10% more AP. No brainer. We're doing loads of healing. We want to gain a lot of AP back as quick as possible. Then the one that every paladin should have in their build, no matter what you are, have this in your build. Aura Gifts. 25% of your power within 30 is then given to the allies within 30 who remain within you for 6 seconds. So, brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Everybody should have this. People will get 25% of my my 30,000, so that's 7,500 power to them as well off the bat. That's a nice little increase, wouldn't you say? And then we go in the top. We're going to go with Swift Flash. The first lot doesn't really matter which you pick. To be honest, it's not a brilliant. It's not the best. I picked Swift Flash because Bound by Light. I don't even have anything in our. We don't even have anything in our inventory at the minute which has any controls on it. So I just went with Swift Flash. But it's up to you on the first one. 5 out of 5. Then Flash of Light. 25. Your encounters have a 25% chance to reduce the cooldowns of your nearby allies. Encounter powers by 10%. Again, we're buffing them, we're helping our teammates out as well, giving them a very quick recovery themselves. And then we go with Radiant Champion. You have at least 2 allies. All of you gain 25% more movement speed and 5% cooldown reductions. Again, an extra help to them, reducing their cooldowns. Then we go with Echoes of Light. Your at-will powers have a 10% chance to trigger Echo on you. Echo makes your encounter powers instantly recharge all of your encounter powers. No brainer. That's an instant top end hard cap recovery straight away, gives you all of them back instantly. Bond of Virtue is going to be on all the time, and the other two, Vow of Enmity, you're going to be popping that quite often, whether they've got the mark on, whether they haven't. It does amazingly, and as I say, with the other ones like Smite, this is brilliant for it as well. And then I've gone with Prism. So Prism is an old-time favorite, and I use it in all my builds for Paladins. It just gives that alleviation from the DCs in the group. So most of you have probably seen the DCs, which are DO and all that lot, who are buff, debuff builds. Most of them don't have big healing in their inventory, and that's the reason, because they're buff debuff. So with Prism, if they do have Divine Glow on, you use it and it helps them out as well, and also it procs with your own healing. So again, you become a Prism for 20 seconds during this time. Anytime you are healed, all allies within 30 are also healed for this amount. The effect will not trigger from heal over time effects. So it works with Cure Wounds, Oath Strike. It works with anything out of your daily, which is the Font, sorry. Yeah, Font works with it. Smite works with it. Vow of Enmity works with it. Literally everything procs on this. It is insane. It's amazing. The only things, as I say, Divine Glow doesn't really work all the time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If they have it on the normal, then it doesn't usually work. But if they have it in their Divinity mode, which is an instant heal, then it does. But it is amazing. Prism, brilliant. Again, it works very similar to the Bond of Virtue, but in a shorter range. So again, everyone who's bonded bounces around. Prism, everyone who's prismed up together, they get healed as well. So Vengeful Judge, again, the first bit, which doesn't really apply to us, which is the increase of damage dealt, that doesn't really apply to us, but reducing the cooldown on your currently recharging powers by 35% is a no-brainer. Again, recovery, we don't need it. It would be a wasted feats if we went down here. You can see, where is it, this one? Holy Bonds, your recovery is increased by 25% for each ally within. Very nice, but with this, we've got 3 already here, which reduce the cooldowns of nearby encounters. We've got Exemplars, Haste over here, which decreases recharge speed, all sorts, and Vengeful Judge as well. And you'll see in a second when I show you a little bit of Bond Virtue, just standing there, this procs instantly. And when it says Vengeful Judge on your screen, it's giving you, immediately granting you a charge of Divine Call. You generate so much Divine Call when you're playing. It's unbelievable. And Divine Call itself is actually a heal. It's a burst of heal for us, which works with the Prism, with the Bond of Virtue. It's just, oh, it's insane. There's massive amounts of heal just bouncing around everywhere. Now, let's have a look at the boons. Let's get into this one. So, the Guild Stronghold, what we want to do is go for the power one. 100% want to go for the power in the offensive. Defensive, I would personally, I've forgotten to move it over actually, but you would definitely go with the defense. The incoming healing is good. It's a very nice one, but of course it's incoming, so it would only affect your Prism and Bond of Virtue. That would be the only one it affects. But if it was, say, like outgoing healing, that would be better. But defense is good to have on yourself because, as I said, Pally on this build, unfortunately, need to worry about that. The PvP of the guild, you don't need to worry about that. Then we look into Sharandar. So this is the way I've done it. I've gone with power, crit, action point gain. Being struck by a foe has a chance to heal yourself up to 20,000 hit points. Now, some of these boons which are healing, some of them are over time, some of them are instant. Now, you'll notice when you're playing, you'll notice these things happening, but without using various different retraining tokens and respecking your characters, all sorts, you won't really notice which one it is. But as I say, some of them do, some of them don't. Now, I went with Fae Thistle, so when you deflect an attack, you deal up to 3,000 damage. That's because I have the Shadow Cloud on. That's the reason I have that. The Red Cap Brew is a no-brainer. Why would you use it? Potions, no, you don't need that anymore. You are a big healer, you don't need that. Elvish Fury, when you kill a foe, we're not going to be doing damage in this, and Elven Resolve is not that great. The regen, the stamina for us is useful, but we shouldn't really be in it. Our biggest heals comes from encounters and at-wills and things like that anyway, so you don't need to worry about that. Dread Ring, it goes like this. We go with power, movement, 400 regen, 3% deflection chance, and when taking damage, you have a chance to heal up to 20,000 hit points over a few seconds. After this effect ends, you have 4,000 more defense, and then we have gone with Burning Guidance. Your healing spells have a chance to burn enemies near the target for up to 2,000 radiant damage. So this, you will see on your screen everywhere. Burning Guidance, red, literally bouncing everywhere all the time. It's amazing. It does do quite a lot of damage. You'll see it rack up. You can literally just be standing still, and you'll see it popping everywhere. Then we go with Encroaching Tactics, 1 in that, 400 combat advantage, and then we go with the 400 incoming healing, 400 recovery, and then you gain power based on how much stamina or guard gain you're missing. That is a better one than the stupid 2000 up on your next attack taken. That sucks. We do often use, I say often, but we do sometimes go in and out of stamina or guard gain. As I said, emergencies come sometimes. You haven't got all your encounters ready, or you just can't use your cure. You just don't want to use your cure wounds anymore. You don't want to stand still. You can go in Sanctity, do some big healing on someone, and get that extra little bit of power. And then we have Rousing Warmth. Chance when healed to gain up to 3,000 bonus damage on your next attack. Again, it's a brilliant one to have. You're doing that healing, you might as well have it anyway. The Underdark one, we go with 400 power, maximum hit points, 400 crit, maximum hit points, 1,200 regen, stamina 5% faster, and then we go with the Visceral Strikes. This one, I would not recommend going with this one, with Demonic Domination. There's no point. Tenacity, that could be an okay one, but again, it's only for demons, and most of us are pretty good at killing them now. Demogorgon and all that lot has been out for a long while now, so you should be good enough. I go with the extra damage. Tyranny of the Dragons, I go with 400 power, 400 crit, 400 defense, 400 regen, and then 10% increased incoming healing. Again, brilliant, no-brainer. You could go with either, you don't want to put all your points into that. For me, that's wasted. You want to try and spread it around a little bit. You could go with a point into the increased critical severity. As I say, we have got a very high amount of crit, so probably a good idea to put some points into that. Well, definitely 1. I don't know about 2, and I doubt 3, because as I say, you're wasting them. Increased control strength, no thanks. Increased lifesteal, yeah, not a good idea. Definitely go with point in there, definitely a point in that, and then after that, you can go with whatever you want. The Maze Engine, 400 incoming healing, 400 combat advantage, increased action point gains, and then Engine Inspiration. Your healing spells have a chance to heal allies around you for 20,000 hit points. Again, extra healing, why not? No brainer. Then we go with 300 power, 2,000 maximum hit points, 400 regen, maximum hit points, 400 crit, maximum hit points, and then Wall of Wind. When taking damage, you have a chance to heal up to 24,000 hit points over a few seconds. After this effect ends, your recovery is increased by 1,000. So again, why not? You can have it. You gain that extra healing. You get healing from it and also gain that extra recovery as well. It's very, very nice to have. Storm King's Thunder, we go with 2% control resist. Then we go with 400 incoming healing, 2,000 bonus damage on your next attack when you take damage, which is brilliant. Quite often we are taking damage, so we get extra damage from it. Your maximum hit points increased by 3,200 and Everfrost damage resist. The other one was when you kill a foe, you have a chance. And that's the reason I just wanted to show you, so you're wondering why, because maximum hit points is not a thing in this build. It's not a one you want to go for. But out of the two, it's the better because you don't kill a lot of stuff. Then we go with Healing Warmth. So when healing allies, your healing spells have a chance to deal damage to up to 5 enemies near the target. 4,000 damage of that. So this again works really well with Burning Guidance. Brilliant, brilliant one to have. Definitely, if you haven't got high deflection, go 3 out of 3 for this one. If you have got high deflection, then possibly go with a point in Frozen Reflection as well. Then the Cloaked Ascendancy, I've gone with emitting a boost of AP gain to all allies. Then we went with, Healing Heat. You gain 2% increased healing bonus, incoming heal bonus. That's, again, it's a no-brainer to have. And then 500 recovery, we definitely won that. And also, again, I gone with, whoa, hang on. There we go, got it back now. Planar Vitality, you deflect an attack, you gain up to 8,000 hit points. Again, brilliant one to have. I've got high deflection on there, so we go with that one. So that is all the boons done. That will show you why, what you want and to go with. Those things are quite attacking. It's quite not a damage bit of the boons, but they are very useful to have and they go really nicely with the build itself. As I say, you're hitting on power, which increases the amount of healing you do. Critical strike, get your critical chance up that way as well, and also increases like the critical severity and how much it gives you back from that crit strike. So again, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And then we look at the companions. So these are mainly, most of these are sort of the ones that I have for my protection build, but they are very, very viable for the build itself. You might want to change a few of these up, like the energy one, the Energon. You might want to change him up because you get increased maximum hit points by 5%. You possibly want to change him as well. The Hooters, you fail to critically hit, do an additional hit for extra damage, 50% of your power. Brilliant. We have a large amount of power, and the more we can get, the better anyway. So he's a very, very good one to have. This one is increased damage, so again, you might want to change him as well. The Rust Monster, brilliant. Have that. Definitely have him. Debuff on the attacker, and definitely want that, because if you take less damage, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. The Harper Bard is amazing. Definitely go and get him if you can. If you cannot get him, then go with the Priestess Moonbow, something like that, or another one which is like the Assassin Drake, the Con Artist, all sorts of stuff like that. The Cell Sword, go with other stuff like that that are going to get you brilliant, brilliant debuffs and buffs with the actual companion itself. And that is pretty much the end of the build there. I'm going to show you the Bond of Virtue as well. You see, as we're standing here, just standing still, you'll see in a second it proc the Vengeful Judge. It's very, very quick to pop it. It often is popping all the time. There we go. Just stood still. That gives you a Divine Call instantly. You'll see, let's go into battle and it will show you just standing still. There you go. Let's just stand still. So it's gaining it back really quickly. Gaining recovery back so quickly. We're gaining AP back so fast. It's unbelievable. It's why doesn't he stay in combat? That's annoying. I want to show you my Vengeful Judge. But you can see it procking up all the time massively. Just pops, there we go, Vengeful Judge there. Always popping, always popping, and it's amazing. You gain it back so quickly in there as well. Anyway guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. It really helps me out. Leave a comment with any questions you have about the build as well. I'm going to leave some gameplay rolling as well of me doing some very nice healing and damage in there as well. Subscribe to the channel for more stuff just like this, and also I'm going to have a new series coming out very soon, which is to do with top 5s and stuff like that, so be sure to watch out as well for my channel. Look at the description, have a look around there as well, and smash that like button.